10 to 12 on day one of the 2024 Friendship 4. Mr. McJempsey, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
10 to 12. Good morning.
Good morning. Still good morning. We've got warm-ups going on behind us at the minute. Notre Dame are currently warming up for their game this evening. We've had warm-ups from Harvard, BU. Everybody's been out. To our right, we've got the Merrimack College pep band who are currently sort of setting up, and it's some setup they've got.
They've came in numbers. This is a decent wee band here. I'm looking forward to hearing here. Paddy, there's the bass drummer in. That's what I love to see it now. Here we go.
They're all setting up the sides. They're probably going to kick in a minute. But it looks like we're trying to work out which sort of edition of the Friendship 4 this is. It's been going it's 9 years since it started, and it's getting stronger and stronger year in year out.
It's funny. Got a little Facebook reminder a day or two ago. We're chatting about them. I was standing just the other side of where the camera is here. The Sports Personality of the Year trophy was sitting 2015, I'm going to say.
Yes.
9 years ago. We've had a lot more black hair. I'm not going to say you had a lot more hair.
Same amount of hair.
You know, same hairstyles, different colours. But we've had some really good times with this Friendship 4. You know, along with the old the Belfast Giants, you know, they often get said about it would never last. Always had not skepticism over it because it was always a great tournament, but I never saw it becoming what it has become.
It's a testament to the actual drive of the Odyssey Trust, of the Belfast Giants, of Thorts, of Rob Fitzpatrick, of Joe Britannia, Steve Hagwell, all these guys. They're obviously going to be here all through the weekend.
Yeah, and our own guys that have been involved right from the start. Shane Johnson's, Jeff Mason's now. Jeff, obviously, the Belfast Giants travelling this weekend. Jeff at home. So, you know, he's looking after a lot of things behind the scenes. Steve Thornton. So many hours and so many years have been put into making this happen. But as you say, the guys that come year on year, Steve Hagwell, Joe Britannia, having a fight to see who can come to Northern Ireland the most. I think it's 16-15 at the minute to Joe. So that's a competition worth watching.
Obviously, as well, this weekend, not to forget the Belfast Giants are in action over in Scotland, away to Glasgow and away to Dundee tonight against Glasgow. Obviously, the last couple of we have had a loss to Glasgow, but tonight's game in Glasgow is equally as important as what's happening tonight here in the SSE Arena.
You know, for me, I love this little tournament, but my eyes will be, and my heart will be firmly in Glasgow, and then on the Dundee tomorrow night. Just a crucial time in the league. There's obviously the Sheffield Steelers going through their own adversity with a few injuries. We saw that ourselves after coming out of CHL competition last season. There's a bit of drop off there. They're only going about 500 at the minute. Cardiff Devils got their own injury troubles, but they seem to be trucking along. Guildford Flames rolling well top half of the table. Belfast Giants over the start of the season have struggled ourselves with injuries. We're getting a little bit more whole. There's only a couple of guys stayed back in Belfast this weekend. You know, so hopefully first foot forward, and you know, get a good result tonight, and look at Dundee later.
The Merrimack College pep band, they're starting to warm up, as you can probably hear in the background. We're in for one hell of a weekend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're going to get ask one of these guys to jump in and have a chat.
Let's see how we get.
See if you got one of them. So as Paddy goes here to just try and get someone from I would say Merrimack, maybe Notre Dame, just finalising their last. It's very hard to keep the concentration going here because the Merrimack band have struck up. I'm Phil. Come on in, mate.
How are you doing?
Well,
I'm Mini Mike. Okay.
Yeah, a little real, Mike. How are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Tanner Sorensen.
Tanner.
I was a Panther.
Are you?
Yeah. Just for a year.
You want the interview? Well, how you doing? Are you enjoying your stay in Belfast here?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
And what's your role here this weekend?
I'm one of our assistant coaches at Merrimack.
Okay, and got a little travelling band with you. It must be good to have this.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. We had a Thanksgiving dinner last night with our band and family, so yeah, it was awesome.
We're expecting over 5,000 in this afternoon for the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different atmosphere for a lot of people here with the bands going and a lot of school kids in. You know, the two early games today and tomorrow's early games, well, a lot of school kids are coming. The night game's more adult themed, but you must be excited to get the boys on the ice.
Yeah, no, it's great. I know we had a little 30-minute skate this morning, so I know the boys are happy. They've really soaked up everything this week, so it's been cool to see.
So the Odyssey is you're no stranger to it. You've played here before yourself.
Yeah, I scored here. We didn't win though. We didn't win.
That's okay. Tyler, former Nottingham Panther. But what are you expecting from the weekend? What are you hoping for from the weekend?
I'm hoping for a good response. We've kind of threw away the game last weekend versus BU on Friday at BU. We had a 1-goal lead going into the third and lost 6-3. So hoping for a good response.
Yeah, what's the bit of the game there? So you big pushback to go 3-2 up. At that time, as you say, you're hoping to push on, but just didn't really work out well in the third period.
We kind of just came out and played on our heels instead of our toes and let BU take over. So hopefully we can play on our toes all game today.
That's the great thing about hockey. The next game comes quick and a game against BU. So,
Yeah, and it's a neutral ground, so really there's no like home ice advantage, right? So it'll be fun to see the momentum swings and how we handle it.
Well, enjoy your weekend or the rest of the weekend in Belfast. Hope you've enjoyed your stay so
Yeah,
far.
thank you. I have.
Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Hughes back to Celebrini's. Celebrini's shot was redirected and Hudson scores! Tucked home by Quinn Hudson, his 4th of the season. It's a 4-2 hockey game.
Celebrini started that off by using good speed, getting the puck into the zone, and it comes back to him on the point here. And he gets another shot on net. He's been good from the point today. You can see he just comes back to me one time, so right in front. And it looks like Hudson might get a stick on that. It looks like Merrimack's asking possibly for a replay. He tips it down and he gets his own rebound.
In between the two games, in day one of the Friendship Four, delighted to be joined by two men from the Sick podcast, Eyes Test, but obviously Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy. Gents, first of all, before we get into it, your thoughts on that first game between the win for Boston University over Merrimack College?
I give Merrimack a lot of credit, Jimmy. You know, the biggest thing to me was they were down 3-0. They were resilient. They pushed back. I think Scotty Borick, the coach of Merrimack, made some really good decisions. Shane LeChance, a heck of a player. So for fans that aren't aware, Shane's grandfather coached at Boston University. Shane's mom went to Boston University. His father was a first-round pick of the New York Islanders out of Boston University. It's an amazing legacy story. All that being said, he'll be playing for the Edmonton Oilers sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'm with Pierre there too. I mean, it was a great comeback by them. I think, key for BU to kill that power play there. I think it was with about 8 minutes left there. That was key to the game. And you could see that kind of deflated Merrimack. But hey, look, I know everybody's here having a great time, and I got to say, this environment felt a lot like the Bean Pot back in Boston. It had that vibe to it, so we love being here.
Interesting. So, cards on the table. What did you know of the Friendship Four before coming here? Is this a tournament you've been aware of, or is this just something more recently?
I'll put the cards on the table. I've known about it for a long time. My son went to Colgate University.
Yes.
Now he's at Northeastern University. Both those schools have played here. I'm very familiar with all the coaches that have been here before. I really respect Rand Pecknold from Quinnipiac. Obviously, they've won this event. So I'm a big fan of the event. My family originally is from Inniskillen, about 2 hours to the west of here. And I can't wait to come back next year because Jimmy's coming back with me. I'm telling you right now.
This is actually, as I was just telling you guys off air, I was supposed to be here in 2010 when the Bruins came here before they went to Prague and started their Stanley Cup season. Unfortunately, got sick, couldn't make it, and I said, I'm going to make it eventually, and here I am. So this has been a bucket list trip. Check off the list right now.
This week's been great for you guys. You've been doing the eye test from the Heart Bar, and it looks.
Oh my gosh, what an establishment!
Well, I can just say this, like. McGuire, familiar with bars, adult beverages.
Murphy.
Yeah. Probably the most spectacular property I've ever seen anywhere in the world. And I've been in a few places in the world. The Heart Bar is great. I got to say this, down in Dublin.
We got to mention
Dublin.
Dublin
Harry
too.
Lemon was unbelievable.
Yeah, Michael,
we did
the
our
manager.
podcast there the first day. Michael was amazing. I don't even know it's about bars. I think it's about hospitality. I think it's about the passion that people have here. I can't wait to come back. My daughter lives and works in Dublin. She actually works in Kildare. So, I've been coming here a long time. I just, coming here the way we did and to see what we've seen, I think is overwhelming in a positive way.
I'd have to echo all that too. I mean, we're so grateful that we got in touch with Cara Group Travel, who kind of organized this with us, and we get to meet your wonderful owner there, Michael Fitzpatrick, and Martin and everybody. And like he said, the hospitality is great. We had an amazing American Thanksgiving dinner last night here. Really enjoyed it, and just everywhere you go, it's a good vibe. But what I've been impressed with the most is the knowledge of hockey is building here. You can sense it.
Robert Fitzpatrick, to me, is one of the special men of all the men I've ever met. You get a chance. I've done 8 Olympics, and I've seen a lot of different stuff, and I've coached in the Stanley Cup final, all that stuff. Robert is as high up the food chain as you can get. What a special human being. And his passion for hockey is great, but his passion for this community and all of Northern Ireland is off the charts. And for that, I respect him so much. And I told him, I gave him my word as a man. As long as he's involved in the event, I will continue to come back.
And Pierre, you made a great point numerous times too. That if you want to tell them, they've taken the Tampa Bay Lightning vision. You can see that here.
Yeah, no. Well, I've told this to Robert. This is the Tampa Bay Lightning vision. There's water. There's a building. There's environmental protection all the time. There's commitment to the community. It's unbelievable. I think Jeffrey Vinnick is the best owner in the National Hockey League. I think that your ownership group here is as good or better just because of the commitment they have to the community.
That's quite the compliment. Obviously, the drive of Robert and the team here to develop this tournament. It's 9 years since the first one in 2015. It's growing and growing. We've went from the 2 conferences. We've now brought the Big Ten in, and that it just looks like it can grow and grow and grow in years to come.
You know what I'm really excited about, and I talked to Jimmy about this. In 2026, there's going to be the women coming over.
Yes.
And it's not going to be 2 teams, it's going to be 4 teams. That matters a lot. And so I've called, since 2002, I've called every single women's Olympic tournament as well. And the one thing I can say from 2002 to where we are now in women's hockey, it's off the charts. And I think people are in for a real treat when the women come here in January of 2026.
And I also, and say, Pierre, too, the way that this tournament has kind of grown parallel to women's hockey. Women's hockey is booming now in North America. And on top of that, on the men's side, you've got the NCAA and the CHL now partnering up, and with CHL players able to come to the NCAA, the quality of hockey is going to get even better. I mean, college hockey is huge now in the States and North America. So the timing for the Friendship Four to grow as all that has grown overseas couldn't be more perfect.
And you say you're going to come back for another tournament. Could we get you back here for a Belfast Giants game?
I would love it.
You know what?
How about 20 of them?
I'll definitely be back for the Belfast Giants. You know what? Stevie Thornton, to me, embodies what hockey's about. Like, he's selfless. He cares about community. He's raised his family properly. He's committed to the community. He's an amazing employee for the organization. And I know how hard he works to do everything. It's hard not to want to be affiliated with these people. It's really hard not to be affiliated with them.
Yeah, this has been great. I mean, and I love being on your podcast, guys. Anytime you need us again, let us know.
Very good. Listen, we've enjoyed your podcast, the Eye Test on the Sick podcast. But the one last thing to do, gents, it's an early time. We've had 1 game already, but who's your money on for this tournament?
Well, I'm going to say what I said at the beginning.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to any of the teams. And I don't pick winners, but I'm going to say BU has the advantage. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with him too. I mean, you just look at the number of draft picks and the first rounders, the skill that's on that team right now. I think, the season's been kind of up and down with them so far, but we've seen teams, I'm sure you're aware, come over to this tournament and go on a run after. So I kind of feel like this is what BU needed to get going and gel together with a lot of young kids on the roster.
Obviously, last time Quinnipiac set the standard coming over here, taking the bell pot and then going on to the national
right,
championship.
There you go.
So
and I think Northeastern went on a run one year too.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Listen, gentlemen, great to see you in Belfast. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
It's been our privilege to be
All right.
here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Hi there, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Paul Garrissey.
What's your role?
I am Director of Bands at Merrimack College.
Wow, you guys are just going through your warm-ups and getting everything set up. It sounds fantastic. Is this your first time in Belfast?
This is our first time in Belfast. In fact, this is the first time that our band has traveled internationally. Wow. We are just north of the Boston area, and so the opportunity to come here to Belfast and perform in Northern Ireland is just amazing, and we're really excited to bring what we do back home here to you guys.
How long have you been here? When did you arrive?
We arrived on Wednesday morning. We flew out Tuesday night, and we'll be here through Sunday.
What's your experience been of Belfast the last few while? It looks like we saw you out marching the streets of Carrickfergus the other day.
Yeah, it's funny. We got off the plane and went up to Carrickfergus and performed at a parade, and then we performed at the amphitheater for the community out there. So it was amazing. Since we've landed, we've been kind of going around and doing everything, and we're so grateful and so excited to be here.
You guys have come, there's a lot of equipment, there's a lot of setup goes on here. Is this normal? Is this what you normally set up with?
This is pretty close to our typical setup for an event like this. Yeah, we incorporate a lot of sound technology into what we do, and it makes it just that much more fun for our students.
What has the experience been for your students here? It looks like they're having a ball.
Oh gosh, we are having an incredibly fun time. No matter where we're at, if we're up at Carrickfergus performing or kind of going out at night, we're just having a blast. So yeah, it's amazing.
The game this afternoon's against BU. They've got their own band with them.
They do, yeah. We actually performed alongside them up at Carrickfergus. So that was a fun deal. And while our teams might be playing against each other, there's a lot of love between the bands here. So.
What can we expect this afternoon from you guys?
What's
your highlight? What's the best?
A ton of energy. Just us going crazy from the time the puck drops until the end of the game.
We've just heard a bit of Blink 182. So what else can we expect?
Oh, we can expect Blink 182. You can expect some Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, yes.
Our rock band is about to sound check a couple of songs here, so you don't want to miss any of it.
Fantastic. Listen, appreciate your time. Have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Murphy gives the puck away to Johnson, scores! Cam Johnson, his first! A laser of a wrister off a turnover, 3-2. Here's Nelson, he's got some room. Nelson goes to the backhand, what a stop by Charette. Comes in here cold in relief.
End of day one here at the Friendship 4 at the SSE Arena. It's a win for Boston University and for Notre Dame. I'm joined by the lads. First of all, so are you, Davy, your thoughts on today's games?
Two games that were very, very similar in terms of scoreline. One team jumping out to 3-0 lead. Coaches changed their goaltender, the other team roaring back to make it 3-2, and then the game settled down in the nice sun patterns, and ultimately both games ended in a power play, making it 4-2, and then you've empty netters, and so good two performances. Boston University and Notre Dame in the final, so all to play for.
One of the things is like from this competition, and you see it every single year, and I guess you kind of forget it before you come back to see it, is that these lads throw the hits in. There's physicality in this competition, more so than we see probably in our own league.
Listen, we were talking about it before we went and started recording. The level of hockey for these teams is just unbelievable, and the speed and the tenacity, and you've got 26 guys minimum have travelled. You have 22 can play. They all want to play. So when they're doing practice, I was saying Davey this week, they're knocking the pan out of each other in practice. They're going full tilt, and then obviously the guys, if you don't perform, you're out of lineup. You don't get that very many times in the IHL because there's not many guys that you can afford to leave out of the lineup. But today's hockey overall, for the ninth Friendship 4 has been absolutely outstanding. 4,500 in this afternoon, over 5,500 tonight. It's incredible how well it's supported it is. It's again, the standard has just been another level, and we argued about the point about whether this has been the best set of teams that we've had.
Yes,
and I think it definitely has. It's set up for an absolutely brilliant final tomorrow night for sure.
Obviously, we've got this season where we've got the Big Ten coming, and with Notre Dame coming into this, it's not ECAC Hockey East. It's pushing this out to another level. I think that the game this evening between Harvard and Notre Dame, most people thought that Harvard would probably cruise this. Notre Dame on the back of a bit of a losing streak. Notre Dame came out early, hit 3 quick goals, and got out to a hell of a lead. And just held it. Harvard came back into it, but Notre Dame did well to sort of hold that lead.
Yeah, I think the game, I know you can't win a game in the first period, but it would appear you can lose a game in the first period. Notre Dame came out so fast. Same play, time after time after time, that low goal line drive, popping pucks in for the center man attacking or the trailing D man. Ironically, got their second goal came off a little bit of a fly screen, and the goalie didn't really get the puck off, and then a massive deflection in front to make it 3. And at that stage, it was always going to be an uphill struggle for Harvard. But the goalie change did affect things. Harvard came out in that second period, got a lot of momentum, 3-2, and then they had the momentum, and then they took that checking from behind. I think it was checking from behind penalty down the corner here. It just sucked all the energy out of them. They had to defend that penalty. Unfortunately, they go 4-2 down, and then it's a real uphill battle for like the last 10 minutes, and they just didn't have enough.
What we also saw is the energy in the building. And like you like in that first game, you had a fantastic between BU and Merrimack, but not just that, but you've got the two bands playing in the corner, the crack going on with that, the kids in here. This tournament goes from strength to strength in that, because like we had Clarkson Pep Band come in here and they showed what they could do, and that was great fun. We got two pep bands come in here on the cost of the university who want to bring that and do that. It just shows exactly what this tournament is bringing to NCAA hockey.
Listen, there's over 750 bedrooms in Belfast, hotel rooms that are being used this week exclusively for the Friendship Forum. I mean, we talk about the amount of the first year we had this, we managed to put all the sets of equipment for the 4 teams into one Luton van, with 4 Luton vans this week, a van for each team, and they're basically they're literally full to the neck. You know, we talked about has Notre Dame had lost a few dollars. I don't think they'll be worried about it, but by not bringing the jerseys to sell,
they could have made a fortune out of those jerseys.
Not just Notre Dame, all the universities. There's been people asking for their summer stuff, and that may be something that we.
That was just Steve Thornton looking for BU jerseys. That's what that was.
He's got his own. Do you know what? I took a photograph. I walked into the Sky Lounge earlier on, and I took a photograph, just literally looking at the people that were there. As soon as I walked through the door, Thornton 19 with a BU jersey on. So I seen a guy and I was sitting chatting away to him. But it's
had he travelled with his Thornton 19 jersey?
He did. He's an old timer. See if I can get it here for you.
Has he seen Thornton this weekend?
He has. Yeah. Steve Thornton, 19.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Fair play to him. We'll get a copy of that and open it up. But
so,
it's brilliant.
But yeah, they travelled with Thornton 19 jersey, and I said to Steve about it. He said, where's he? So we're pointed out to him. But it's been fantastic. But we'll talk about the teams and how good the teams have been. Seeing you look at individuals, I've had quite a few people. Andrea Owens is one of them. She texts me today, the standard's been fantastic.
Yeah.
You get hockey fans from all different levels. Rev was talking about how good it was. But see, when you look at some of the individual players that are here, Cole Hudson for BU. I mean, Davy, you were right down to glass for that kid. He's different level. The chance for Harvard.
For BU.
There's so many good players that are here. Cole Hudson's brother Lane left BU last year to go straight to the NHL with the Habs. Celebrini, Aidan Celebrini's playing here. I mean, the other kid, Celebrini, went straight to the NHL this year. That's the level that some of these kids are going to be at next year. It's off the charts how good they are. And even Cole Iserman, number 34 for BU, I said to David this week we were going to keep an eye on him. He wasn't practicing yesterday, unless he was wearing somebody different jersey. The kid's unbelievable. So getting to watch these guys at close quarters. David and I were talking about it again just before we come on, and I was saying, well, you've got a bird's eye view, David. You know, big shot.
Going coast to coast of NASN,
TSN, and NESN in North America, doing the roving reporter. Oh, he brought his own microphone. But doing the ringside interviews, and when you're down at the glass, you just see how fast these kids are moving. Even from
the physicality as well, like the hits that they're putting in.
I love it.
And I don't mean that. Like we had this chat down at the glass, basically saying that the boarding call in the first game, there was a 2 minutes here. In the Elite League, that's a 5+ game. It's like it's a
2 or 3 weekends off as well.
But it's the difference in standard. Like, don't get me wrong, they're wearing the masks, they're wearing the cages. That's why they're probably throwing themselves about a bit more, Davey. But
I also, we have to be very, very careful on this podcast what we say about officiating. But I will talk about the NCAA officiating in that they're quick in, they're very conversational. If they need to be firm, they're very firm. And I don't know whether it's a rugby mentality in the players. Very little backbiting.
Yeah.
Very little chirping back their referees. Yeah. And guys getting on with it. Yes, there's a bit of hacking and whacking and slashing behind the plays. And a lot of it ends up with a little smile at each other. Yeah. You know, and yes, things bubble over at times, but it's just a really, really strong standard of hockey to watch.
Just on that side of things. I was over speaking to with a lot of guests in tonight with the American Consulate organised a gathering, and we're sitting talking to a few guests that were in. And one of the guests, a chance season ticket holder, and he says, "I love the rough stuff. Any chance of starting a fight?" And I go, "They're not allowed to fight at college level there's a fight, they're thrown out of the game straight away. And we talk about it regularly on AVFTB about, fighting coming in and out of the game. You just goes to show at that level they don't fight, and how good's the hockey. Yes, we all love somebody getting their face punched in. Let's be honest, but we've grown up with that and got old with it. But watching these kids playing now and the skill that they have, I mean, look at the second goal for BU this afternoon. Cole Hudson straight down the left side, the pass
100%.
from the guy comes straight off the bench and he slots it through the goal. Ridiculous speed, ridiculous skill, and
So the short-handed goal?
No, it wasn't
No,
short-handed. It was the second goal.
yeah.
Come right down the left side here, and then the guy come off the bench and straight to the high slot, throw it through, shooting through a crowd and put it straight into the net.
Sure, that wasn't Shorty.
I don't think it was.
I'm pretty sure. Is that the one? Capone picks it. It's a bit of a misplay on the wall. He hats inside. Long
Maybe it
drive
was.
pass up
Maybe
the
it
left
was.
wing and a pop
Maybe it
across.
was.
We'll get the
Maybe it
head
was.
for
Yeah,
you.
pretty sure it's a short-handed.
But even
Game winning goal.
Even better if that's the case. But it's honestly, I'm really looking forward to
So
wherever. I know this is not going live, but
it's
tomorrow night now.
it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night.
It'll be tomorrow night. It's interesting because for me, BU are the best assembly of players.
Yes.
Notre Dame are probably the best team. So it'll be interesting to see how much that big win today for Boston Uni galvanizes them as a group, and how much that win tonight.
That's another thing. So I had the opportunity this week to do the interviews which Neil Wedge said we put together for Nesson. So in between the periods, there's a 2.5 minute clip going up on the NASN and TSN in Canada.
Big shot there.
But that doesn't. Some things just never change, man. But the end. So when I spoke to the guys this week, that's one of the things that kept on coming up. They're all the teams have come in this year, apart from BU, with a losing record, and they're all saying, "Do you know what? This can change our season." Northeastern a couple of years ago, they basically came in, did exactly the same thing. They came in with a losing record and back and ended up going to the national finals. So a trip like this can galvanize a team together. They don't get to do it very often. The amount of people, even the coaches, Jeff Jackson, who you were interviewing at the end of the game, he's at Notre Dame for 21 years. And he was saying this is his first international trip. He says, we've went all over the states in Arizona, Alaska, all over the place. They've never been across the pond. And he said, I was so looking forward to it. The guys are so looking forward to it. And hopefully they can change our season.
There's a real push as well. Let's talk about tomorrow. And we've got the third, fourth place game between Merrimack and Harvard, and that is what it is. And I'm sure it's one of these. I had a chat. We had a chat earlier on with Thomas Sorensen, who played for Nottingham Panthers and is now part of the setup of Merrimack. And he said we were talking about the playoffs. He says nobody wants to play in a third, fourth place game like he did when we won the Grand Slam. And of course, we've got Merrimack who are part of that. So that is what it is. Let's come to the Bell Pot game. Biggest game for us with regards to this. And you've got Notre Dame against BU. I'd say that, and we said this off the air, the coach for Notre Dame is obviously going into the locker room and saying, we don't lose in Ireland. The island of Ireland, Davy, if you'd like us to put it that way.
No, they're not playing in either of
the island. This is the island of Ireland. But you know that's what the coach is going in to say. This is the coach is going to, he's giving it that because they've just broken a losing streak with that win. Do they come into this game with their tails higher than BU, or are BU looking to basically make amends for what happened against Union the last time they were here?
Well, of course, Boston University are going to want to right what they feel is probably a wrong from 2018 maybe, where they got the final. They came to do a job this weekend. They'll be very focused on doing that job, and both games today have been won by the team that started best in the first period.
Yes,
and they've jumped their lead. So both coaches will be really focused on how these teams start on time. Boston University for me have the slight advantage in that they've had an extra, probably not as much as 12 hours, but maybe 8 hours rest. Their guys will go to bed earlier tonight. They'll sleep better. Whereas these guys will still have a wee bit of charge in them when they go. They'll have to download a wee bit here. 8 rest before they go to
100%.
bed. Maybe someone will need a bit of a massage, bit of a physio, whatever, little knocks that need treated. So they'll be a wee bit later to bed. They're eating late, which always affects your body different. BU have been resting since 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Nowhere to be seen in this Neven game. They are out of here. They are doing this.
Yeah, so for me, that's going to be a massive advantage to them. they're also the team with a little bit better pedigree as a collective, but maybe not as a team.
Says.
Yeah, sorry. There's somebody's going to need a bit of medical attention. One of the players get hurt tonight.
Okay.
What was the question?
No, about the Belpot game and who's going into this game with their tails higher.
Well, I think everybody came in for the tournament thinking the BU are going to win it. But Notre Dame will not be sitting thinking that after again this week. They would have been focused on trying to win this tournament. We always talk about next up mentality. The next one is up is BU. And I think Notre Dame will be thinking, you know what, we've got a real chance here. Totally what you're saying. They had a lot of support on here tonight. And BU had a lot of support this afternoon. It's got all the makings for what could be the best Friendship 4 tournament finale that we've actually seen. And we've seen some crackers like
all the way back to
a couple of years ago.
Pack going on to be the national champions. Even the very first one goes to penalty shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was, we've had some great ones here.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Neil White said it's done a Friendship 4 Bible, and everybody's ever played on it. And I look at it regularly because there's so many players now playing in the IHL that have played in the Friendship 4.
Is that thing you get me the update occasionally?
Aye. But there's so many. Nick Seitz playing for Coventry, got a hat trick the other night. He's playing the Friendship 4. And it's literally, you just scroll through it every once in a while, and you just realise, I didn't realise he was here at the time. But I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night's final. I quite a bit to do tonight, so I didn't really get to see an awful lot of the second game. But I'm going to try and make sure.
Cracking game of hockey. Honestly, tonight's game was probably a better game of hockey overall.
Yeah.
Harder hitting, faster, to intensity from both teams.
I agree.
I thought the Notre Dame team really brought high level of intensity and impact in that first period. They came out with a strategy. We're going to try and take it to Harvard, and they did. Harvard couldn't really answer them, and then you put yourself in a 3-0 hole. You know, in any game of hockey, that's a long way back.
Harvard have 12 draft picks in that team. 12 draft picks. BU have 13.
We're seeing top level talent.
You really are. You're
so lucky. You said it earlier, Sam. You're probably 30 plus draft picks in this edition of Friendship. This time next year, or in 12 to 24 months, you're going to have a dozen players that have played here that are playing in the NCAA.
Potentially, yeah. I genuinely think there'll be kids again. There'll be kids that are playing in this league right now. Their season will be over by mid-February. They'll be playing the AHL this year for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it at all. And when you get teams like Montreal Canadiens who are struggling at the minute, and there's also the likes of San Jose Sharks, and there are a lot of teams who are sort of struggling. Yeah, but there is teams that are struggling. They're going to give kids a chance to get back into the lineup towards the end of the season. You never know. Somebody might get called up for because they've got a draft pick for. So it's we're in a very lucky situation.
And of course, 30, 60, 90, 120 players, around 100 to 120 players have came in with their clubs this season. One or two of them could end up in Belfast. Half a dozen could end up in the Elite League.
Yeah, sure.
I argue that, yeah, you're right. I think about it, half a dozen of these players who we're seeing this weekend will be in this league, possibly with us. And that's and you talk to about the genesis of this tournament and talk to Robert and all these guys, and it is what it is, and we've got the likes of Darcy Murphy, Jeff Baum, Scott Conway, and we've had these, but we sort of say that was never in their head. It was always about just starting it, and I think it's just a happy sort of output, the fact that the Elite League, I've had this conversation a number of times of the course of today, of how our league is changing, as in we don't get the journeyman. You were there when I was a conversation with Jimmy Murphy, but our league is changing. We don't have as great as likes of Paddy Dwyer and Jim Vandermeer and all these are. We don't get these end of, I don't want to say journeymen because they are great players, but these guys who are towards the end of their career. Yeah. What we're getting now are first-year pros out of the NCAA or second-year pros out of the NCAA, kids who are hungry. We talk about Coventry and how they were probably underrated coming into what they are because they're bringing in these Div 2, Div 1, the NCAA players. That's what we're getting now. That's the skill, the speed. What we're getting is the guys here who are coming here, playing here, realising that actually there's a league here you can play in. Because if you don't want to play on the coast or you don't think playing on the coast is going to push you on in a career, then you're going to come to Europe.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, no doubt about it. I just think again that you've so many different. You look through the leagues in Slovakia or Austria. There's guys that are playing here that will definitely play in those leagues next year.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Yes, you can earn more money when you go there, and if you manage to get picked up, but it's not as per Carl Boudre.
Yes.
It doesn't always end up rosy in the garden for him, and he had a difficult time over there. He said the coach just didn't. Scott Conway as well. The communication side of things just doesn't always come across properly. But no, listen, see, being involved in the behind the scenes side of things to get everything up and running. I'm just saying to you, Vergamont, I'm absolutely busted. It's only Friday.
Yeah.
And we've got to do it all again tomorrow. And it's a long, long day. But when you get to watch that product on the ice, it's a different level.
It's been a great day and day one of the Friendship 4. The way this podcast is, what you're going to go and see now is going to put a bit more interviews, bit more crack, bit more footage, and then you'll get our opinion at the end of the Belpot game. There was a game tonight between the Belfast Giants and the Glasgow Clan. Do you want to talk about that?
It beat 5-2, yeah, at the end of it.
Obviously,
We haven't seen it.
We haven't seen the game because
I've seen some of it, but yeah.
So Simon and me said we're going to go watch the game now. So
maybe we'll talk about the weekend tomorrow.
Bit sadistic, perhaps, to watch a 5-2 loss, but
still got to do it.
We got to do what we got to do. But stats have to be counted.
Stats have to be counted. It is what it is. A defeat for the Belfast Giants over in Glasgow. They go on to play Dundee tomorrow, and we'll come back and you'll see it probably in a short period of time where we have a bit of chat about the weekend. But until then, thanks, gents.
I was about to say there's tickets still available for tomorrow night.
But it doesn't matter.
No
by the time you see this, it's like Tuesday or Wednesday. So yeah.
But this is it'll be Tuesday the 3rd of December, and there should be just a few tickets left for Wednesday the 11th of December, Simon, our next home game.
Yeah, that's selling very well. I mean, to be honest with you, we're really, really close to selling out the 28th of December already. 30th of December is nearly sold out. The amount of suites that we have sold this year is off the charts. So with corporate side of things, there's games in March. The last 3 games of the season already sold out.
Interesting in chatting you were coming over talking to one of the girls who were doing the time and ice for BU. She was asking about this arena, and she was like, "Going, do you guys sell this place out?" I went, "Yeah." She went, "Really?"
Every game.
Yeah, every game.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, she was absolutely stunned.
Ridiculous now. I mean, I was talking.
Was the East End in last home game 6,239, I think, through the doors. Unbelievable, which is pretty much every seat available.
Yeah, it's right now we're most games are single seats.
Yeah.
And it's you guys used to go and stand on the bloody bridge, even you bought a seat for the game. If we knew that we could basically
I sat in a seat that I actually bought.
If we could basically sell standing spots on the bridge, we'd do it.
That was a consideration back in the first season.
Yeah.
When somebody, I can't remember who the commercial was. Girl was it? She went, "Well, we're going to start selling standing spots on the bridge." And I said,
"You get like a number you have to stand on."
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Like
if you're
you can do it, you'll do it. Like
it's been thought about. Don't worry about it. But again, it's when you leave a seat. I mean, there must be 200 people standing on that bridge watching the game.
Yeah, easy.
So 200 quid, 200 more seats. I'm your Huckleberry.
That's it for you. Let's we're going to crack on. Let's get on with it. We'll be on the day 2, the day of the day. Delighted to be joined by our trainer from LaSalle University. So, obviously, LaSalle have got this great partnership with the Belfast Giants, and we're now here at the Friendship 4. Give us your sort of opinion of what you've experienced over the last number of days with the Friendship 4.
Oh, this has been absolutely fabulous. Being able to see the 4 teams, to tour the arena, the locker rooms, and the like. This is just one heck of a tournament, and it's the only tournament outside of the United States for these teams.
Yes.
So it's sanctioned by the NCAA, so that's fabulous.
Well, and exactly that. And like we looked to like maybe last summer, this summer as well. NCAA football's been coming to Ireland for many years. I've been to see it myself, and it's a fabulous tour down in Dublin. Notre Dame played Navy last year. You had the game this year, but to have it in hockey, to have this sort of opportunity to come to Belfast, and for these college athletes to come here and experience the sort of overseas that maybe they don't get when their football brethren get that sort of thing. It's just fabulous.
Well, I think it is. I think it's also the partnership, because the teams work in the schools when they're here. And it's like the partnership that we have with the Odyssey Trust, again, an educational institution. We're 173 years old, and we prepare students primarily for careers and things like fashion, forensic science, business, et cetera, et cetera. And so to partner with the Odyssey Trust and to help do things like give opportunities to the Giants, master's programs, to help with teachers both in the North and the South. We're training teachers in something called Universal Design for Learning. This is all part of this overall partnership, and it's wonderful.
I think that's it. And like one of the real game changers within our league, if I can take it to like the Elite League and the Belfast Giants for a moment, one of the real game changers is the fact that the opportunity to offer our players, our athletes to come in, not just like, okay, players want to earn wages, but if you can offer the educational aspect to it, that's a major factor as a recruitment tool, but also just better development.
Just better development, and these players have to have lives when they're done playing.
Correct.
And it's extremely important to make sure that they're trained and educated to do so.
That's
so
right.
we want to make sure they're career ready also, beyond the hockey.
Fantastic. The game here, the final's about to start out. Who's your money on?
Oh boy. Well, I'm from Boston, so I got to go with Boston University. I love Notre Dame, but I got to go with Boston University, I think.
Well, I say it's a fantastic partnership we have with ourselves. Really great to see you. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
So we're joined by Magnus Havlet, the head coach of the under-20 Swedish World Junior team. What are you doing in Belfast?
Actually watching great junior hockey, college hockey, but from my point of view I have a couple of Swedish players on the ice, and I will announce a roster and line up for World Juniors in Ottawa Wednesday. Okay. So it's almost the final call here.
And it's a lot less travel from Sweden to Belfast than what it is from Sweden to Boston.
That's true. It's much quicker. And first time for me. It's a great arena and great hockey. And great atmosphere actually. I'm a little bit surprised and good to see.
Is it your first trip to Northern Ireland?
It is, yes.
And will you be back?
Hopefully yes. Hopefully yes.
Obviously the World Juniors is not far away. It's 7 weeks. You must be looking forward to the challenge, and Sweden always put up a good battle.
Yes, we do. We had a silver medal last year. Hopefully we can come together, have a lot of good players, but it's going back to North America, to Canada, and we know how tough it is, but we will try to challenge both USA and Canada. I think they are the favorites.
And the players that you're scouting here this weekend, how are they looking for a roster spot?
We're gonna have a coaching meeting tomorrow. Not all of them, but some of them will be on the lineup, yes.
Brilliant, Magnus. Really appreciate you. Welcome to Belfast, and thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
2024 edition of the Friendship 4. LeChance throws it up front. Oh, what a goal! It's Green! Ryan Green ties it up with 4:42 remaining. It's a 3-3 hockey game.
That new line combination comes through again for Coach Pandolfo. The puck gets away from Hudson here, and the G man just rims it around almost to nobody, and LeChance fires it hard in front, and Green goes right to the front of the net, stick hard on the ice, and just beats Say between the legs. Nothing he could do there. But what a good read by
Boston University. LeChance with 2 assists in the third period. The leadership group. Wow, LeChance! Wow, LeChance with 2 assists now. He has a goal. They were down 3-1. They're up 4-3 with 4:22 remaining. You've got to be kidding me. LeChance taking this game by the scruff of the neck, and LeChance just chips it past Owen Say.
I don't think anyone saw that coming. LeChance, he loses the draw, but he's aggressive. He gets in on the forecheck, causes some havoc, gets the puck back, and some good puck luck to you. Work hard, good things happen. The puck goes off.
The 2024 Friendship 4 concludes with Boston University lifting the bell pot and bringing it above their head. Shane LeChance, their captain, had an absolutely stunning game as they beat Notre Dame to come back from 3-1 down to win 4-3. Joined by the gents for a quick bit of a wrap-up. obviously, quick shout about the first game. Merrimack coming out on top of there. It was it's the game that nobody wants. Well, I will say two things. One, it's the game that nobody wants to play, but it was played at a good pace, and it's also the game nobody wants to watch, but there was a big crowd here.
Yeah, there was over 4,000 in this afternoon. And, Harvard will be absolutely ripping that they came here and didn't win any games. 12 draft picks in their team, and the coach has been there and done it all, and they will not be happy the way they performed this weekend. But fair play to Merrimack. They came in and they did a job, and I thought they played really, really well this afternoon.
It's one of those, like I say, neither team wants to be part of a third, fourth place game, but at the end of the day, it's experience for them.
I thought they put on a really good show.
I thought that as well.
Of hockey as well. It was good physical. It was hard hitting. They had a lot of pucks in front of the net. Both teams were desperate to win. As you say, third, fourth place game, not really for much, but a little bit of pride. And I think both organisations, especially Merrimack coming out on top, will be pleased, and they'll probably take a little bit of momentum out of it.
Let's get straight on to the final, lads, because you want these showpiece finals, especially in this tournament. We've had some great ones. You think back to the one of the first one with Brown and the overtime with the penalty shots and everything. This was a showpiece final. Boston University take the lead. Notre Dame then overturn that in 2 quick goals, go out in the lead, and then BU peg them back in that final. Shane LeChance proving that if you've got a great captain with a great ability, he can put the game on the back and lead you to a title.
I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Oh,
we talked about this last night or earlier on, but it's the quality. I mean, with again 5,800 people on here tonight,
brilliant.
And you look at the kid Shane LeChance. He got man of the match tonight. He got player of the tournament. He was unbelievable. He scored 2 late goals. I said it to David during the week. They were right down on Thursday. We came down here much to practice, and I said it on Thursday. He's different gravy. He really is. And if not next year, that kid will be playing the NHL the year after. He's 6'5". He's built like an absolute tank.
He's huge.
He can move. He's got all the skill in the world. But he's not the only one. You've got Eiserman. He's been there, and he can certainly shift as well. Cole Hudson was absolutely brilliant all weekend. Goaltender did okay once he settled down. But I thought the game over the whole 60 minutes, to be honest, I was hoping it was going to go to overtime.
Yeah, so was I.
And 3-on-3 with those guys out there, I thought that would have been unbelievable. But for them to get the winner with a little bit of luck, that bounced off a skate and sort of, I don't want to say a swing and a hope, but obviously got it behind the goaltender. And you talk about 2 quick goals for Notre Dame in the first. That was 2 quick goals for them in the third.
Yeah, that sort of overturned the game. You talk about the luck. You see the luck in that in the first game, in the third, fourth place game, a puck going to the net and a loose stick puts it in the back of the net. You see it in this game as well, the skate and stuff like that. But even like looking at some of the goals, like the 2 goals from Notre Dame that overturned it quickly, both of those were high quality strikes.
There was high quality hockey all weekend. The 1-on-none, the first goal from Notre Dame, the 1-on-none, he gets down and he properly puts it top shelf, right over the glove hand. Then the second one's a little.
You good view of that.
Yeah, right down the pipe. And even the second one across the Royal Road, it's a little sauce pass, and he's took it on the volley, so to speak, a one hopper, and just got Caron moving. Because these goaltenders this week, although there's been a lot of goals scored, some unbelievable goaltending.
Better than your mate for Quinnipiac.
Some of these guys will go on to play in the NHL.
I don't know if you said again. Where were you watching the game from?
I was watching down there and up there.
So the second period, BU were down this end.
Yes.
Their goalie made 2 unbelievable saves. Right against
the
post.
I did see that.
And I was over the far side. I'm looking right down the line at it. Couldn't believe he kept both of them out. But that's what it takes. They're 3-1 down at that point. If Notre Dame get that goal to make it 4-1, potentially game over. It was late in the second period. He did well to keep that out, and then it went up the other end. I think they went into they got penalty towards the end of the second period. And then hello Kelly and Laura. Some distraction from the crowd. Big shout out to our fans. Hello. But I can't remember what I was talking about now. Broccoli. Anyway, but unbelievable.
Listen. Come with the I don't know how to say that. Come with the man, and Shane LeChance in that third period starts it off with the goal where him and Like Kaplan reverse into the top of the blue paint. Shane.
Shane Jones.
No. Say.
Oh, who I say?
Saying that. Owen saying
Say.
that's for Notre Dame. If they can't see it, they can't save it. They make a great goal to bring themselves back into the game, give themselves a little bit of momentum where they were kind of out of the game. And that put Notre Dame on their heels. They kind of started to try and manage the clock, started trying to manage the neutral zone. We're up to them. They've been trying to press in. They've been defending by attacking. And they changed. And like it gave BU a little bit of momentum.
Yes.
And then quick goals. The pass out from the chance and off the boards. It's instant. It's thing. I'm putting this across net. Somebody will be on it, and it's Green, number 9, captain, the other captain.
Green.
Green. Scores to bring them level. And at that point, it's like, what a story! This is going to go to overtime. 6,000 people
really wanted overtime.
And then, everybody wanted overtime apart from Shane Lachance, who says, now a little bit of puck luck.
But again, 3 or 4 minutes before he got those 2 goals, really quick succession, he took a penalty.
Yes.
And he was raging with himself. And he went to the bench, and you said it just before we came around here, what the game was looking for somebody to put everybody in their back and say, right, let's go. Shane Lachance
He took the penalty, which was a bad penalty. Notre Dame didn't score. They took a little bit of a lift. BU took a lift from that. It was actually Shane Lachance that gets boarded over by the players' benches as well. Wins the penalty, goes on. Now they didn't score with the extra man, but it gave them momentum. Then Notre Dame were on their heels right for the rest of the game.
What got me as well in this game is that obviously, in the grand scheme of it, from what they're bringing back to North America, there's no points involved in this. This is just a trophy. This is just prestige. But there was physicality, there was feistiness. They were in each other's faces. There was a real want in this game for them to. We always say we love this tournament. We absolutely do, but we want to see that it's being loved by the teams that come here. And you could see on the ice, both these teams wanted this.
So the thing about it is, none of those teams wanted to come all this way and not win. Do you know what I mean? They're not just coming to make a numbers up. Again, Merrimack were probably the underdogs all weekend. They beat Harvard today. They don't play them all the time, but that, it's definitely one of those games that you talked about. You could give them a bit of life getting into the rest of the season. And again, Notre Dame and BU don't face each other every season as well. But it's competitions like this, and obviously the teams that are coming next, they've been announced, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
It's okay. So the teams that are coming next year and the following year, we know who they are. And this is going the whole way through to 2030. And then next year after that, there's going to be the women's team that are coming 5 weeks after that. So they start 2026 off. We've got the Friendship Series coming in.
Yes.
And this is taking us to a whole new level. Next year's 10-year anniversary. Again, after year 1, I was talking to Steve Heigl about this. And after year 1, and everybody wanted to make sure it was coming back again. And then they were talking about, was it going to go every other year? And we did that a couple of years ago, just before COVID. We said, you know what, we'll take a break that year and we'll bring it back the following year. And as soon as we took the break, 6 months down the line, we made a mistake here.
Yeah.
And let's go to it again. So every year it's going to be here. And you've seen the people that were here. We have, and I've got the interview here. I'm going to put it on AVFTB on Tuesday night. I spoke to Magnus
Go on, spit it out.
Magnus, the under 20.
His mate Magnus.
Magnus Havlet. The under 20 head coach of the World Junior in Sweden.
Yeah.
He was here tonight watching 5 of his kids that are they're up for a roster spot on the Swedish team on Wednesday for the World Juniors.
Goalkeeper for
Lundberg was playing on him.
And
there's 3 or 4 kids playing again. There's 5 playing tonight. I've got an interview with him. It was only about 90 seconds, but we spoke to him tonight. We'll stick that out on Tuesday.
We'll put it up,
But, he was here tonight. Joe Sakic was here.
Chris Draper apparently was here.
The president of the Colorado Avalanche was here. O'Coin was here. He was playing in the NHL. Alex Tanguay was here. This isn't something now.
Alex Tanguay was here?
Alex Tanguay was here as well.
I think we need to get down to off ice in case Drips is there.
I want to meet Chris Draper. Sorry.
The big thing about it is,
second time for you? You missed Chris. You met him before, you
know? Who was in that picture?
Sorry, go on.
The big thing about this is, there's an awful lot of little kids that are playing this their level now, that sort of age group, and they're coming through and they get the chance to go to Harvard or BU or Notre Dame, and you get all these different kids that are coming through to try and emulate, get into their father's footsteps and win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, even our very own Bubble.
Yes.
Went to BU, you know, he scored a goal tonight for the Giants, 1-5-2.
He'll be delighted as well by
he'll
that.
He'll be over the moon. He'll be absolutely over the moon. They invited him to go to the Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday night. So I know Bubble will be really happy. But this is the kind of the people that we're attracting to this night. And they're not coming because we're inviting them. They're coming because they've got their kids playing in these tournaments. And they're coming because we put on an unbelievable show.
Right, talking of an unbelievable show, to wrap this up, I'm going to ask you both a question. Friendship 4, 7th edition, 2024. Best one yet?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think the expansion into the Big Ten is a big thing. I think the fact, and obviously I have my allegiances to Notre Dame, and you lads are delighted.
Have you never noticed?
No, I never noticed that. But I think it's actually, and my apologies to family, but I think it's actually good that Notre Dame didn't win this game, because the expansion in the Big Ten, for Notre Dame to waltz in here and walk away with it, would be a case of, listen, lads, we're above all this. We don't have to do this. The fact that they did have the lead, and then BU come back and they make amends for what they lost previously, I think that works for the tournament. I think we've had 4 great games of hockey. We've seen the intensity, we've seen the drive, we've seen some brilliant skill, speed. It's been remarkable. And yes, recency bias would say this is the best one yet, but I actually do think from a standard point, and from what the standard of the players, the draft picks, the guys we know are going to be in the NHL in the next couple of years, this has been the best one.
And slightly different question, if you want to phrase it a slightly different way. Best team won?
Again, watching the practices this week, and I know ice time from practices doesn't always translate into games. I think so. Yeah, I think so. I said at the start, I thought BU were going to win it. To be honest, I didn't expect Notre Dame to beat Harvard yesterday.
No, nor did I.
And I thought they played it better as a team, and Harvard didn't. But has there been better games than these 4 this weekend the whole way through? Yeah, probably. I think. When you look back at the first one that we had,
the final,
Marshall scoring a hat trick in the first night, and
second hat trick, of course, today.
The UMass Low Brown final with the overtime and penalty shots.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you want to start a tournament tonight.
Absolutely, you couldn't. That was just. You couldn't have basically argued it any better.
Tonight adds to the legacy. It adds to the story.
That's the thing, absolutely. And again, going into next year, you're going to have another 4 brilliant teams that are coming in, but this one, without a shadow of a doubt, has been the biggest ever, even by the numbers of fans that have travelled.
Yes,
here and from all over the world. It's unbelievable.
What's really interesting to me is, now I know that it's been announced many times over the weekend that the teams are kind of set for the next 6 years. Teams will be desperate to come back.
Notre Dame are already knocking our door and come back.
Yeah.
Talking to
if anybody drops out, they'll want to come.
Talking to some of the ones in some of the representatives of different organisations and different colleges here, and asking, is this part of the calendar? So it's not just part of the calendar; it's one of the best parts of the calendar. Yeah. It's one of the best parts of the calendar. Obviously, every college wants to get to the Frozen Four. Everybody wants to get that national championship. But what we offer here, and the opportunity here, plus the energy and just the whole package. Yeah. This is part of the NCAA calendar.
Remind me of her name, Sarah. Is it Green?
Oh, from Sarah Fraser. They've seen an interview with them earlier on. With her earlier on, she spoke really well about it, because obviously she's been part of the Brown organization, and then she was part of Quinnipiac, both men's and women's, and it just shows exactly that you keep these relationships with the universities, and you put on a good show. It's just going to develop.
Like the same as Joe Britannia and Steve Hagwell. Yeah. They were the 2 commissioners when we started this 9 years ago.
2 of the architects.
They're still coming.
Yeah.
They're still coming. And unfortunately, Ralph Cox couldn't make it this week. I get a wedding to go to this week, this time round, unfortunately. But he would have been here. He's been here every other year. And again, next year, I have absolutely no doubt, with health and hopefully everybody's okay, that they'll definitely get back again next year. Sarah Fraser's coming back.
Yeah. A remarkable tournament. One more thing to do before we wrap up, boys. Obviously, this is a Belfast Giants podcast. A win for the Belfast Giants tonight against Dundee. With Sheffield dropping points, Cardiff are starting to be a bit resurgent. Sheffield got beat by Nottingham. The first was at 22 times last year.
Like a match apparently.
I know, but I was too busy trying to listen to the CEO. He was having a chat, but I was like, that's okay.
Someone's savoury incidents in them.
Someone's savoury incidents in the stands.
Say savoury to them. Well,
just the fans. On Twitter, it says someone has there's been an incident in the stands. That's all we'll say for now.
We say for now until we get some more information on that. But from a point of view of the fact that Sheffield's now lost 3 in a row. They've lost to Nottingham Panthers for the first time in 22 games.
As someone who said to me earlier on, if you keep going out for walks, eventually you'll step in dog poo. And Panthers 21 games and they've eventually got one. So,
but the question is, are Sheffield in a rut? And is this the time? Now, obviously, we've had the loss last night to Glasgow. Not what we want. We've bounced back now with a win. Cardiff have got a win. There's a real title battle starting to happen here.
Listen, I said about 3 weeks ago, I think the team to beat this year is going to be Cardiff Devils. Sheffield Steelers, they're not done. Far from it. I mean, they're missing a top goalie, the best goalie in the league last year. He was the best goalie in the league last year. They've got a really good squad of players. They're starting to experience, when you play a lot of games like Champions League, which we've been used to over the last number of years, you pick up more injuries. And that's what's happened for them at the minute.
Is there an intensity question there as well? You really raise your game to your absolute 100% when you go in that Champions Hockey League, and maybe you come back and you play a Challenge Cup game against us, with respect.
Smaller team at Nottingham.
A smaller team, smaller rank, whatever, and your intensity levels drop. It's hard to get them up again.
Again, the big thing about it is
turn it on enough.
Well, it's difficult. That's why we look at when we played and we won, not last year, the year before. Actually, yeah, last year. We won we lost the 3 away games.
Yes.
We lost against Luco the first night,
yes.
Tamper the second night, which was like night after night. They beat us 6-0. I think it was 4.
That was a
3-1 the first night. No, I didn't go to those. I went to the Swedish one, yeah. And Skellefteå was a brilliant trip, but you're playing against teams that, let's be honest, they're so much better than you. But you
there's no
absolutely
everything.
Yeah. But you just need to put a performance in, and we put those performances, and then we brought everybody back here. We won those 3 games. Listen, the Steelers done fantastically. I know we always take the mick out of them because it's good value, but they done fantastically well to get to the group stages, and I mean, then obviously played against your team and got their dinner handed to them. But all those injuries have started to add up for them. I don't know how long guys are out for. Hopefully they're longer and longer as the day goes on. I hope they're okay, but you want those guys taking a little bit of time to get back before they're full health. But we're starting to get healthy. Kawaguchi was back tonight.
Yes.
Kieran Long was back.
Good to see Longer back.
Yeah. And obviously there's 1 or 2 others which hopefully are back and the opportunity to play as well. But this league's far from over.
Yeah.
Far from over. The Steelers are far from over. And we will be playing a part in this rundown in the stretch in March time.
How are the tickets looking for Wednesday night, mate?
It's Wednesday night.
Wednesday week.
Wednesday week, sorry.
Next weekend.
Way next weekend, yeah.
Coventry next weekend, home to Dundee the 11th. So, they're looking decent. I have had this conversation 100 times this weekend. Our crowds have been unbelievable this year. The East End's going to be in for quite a few games in January.
Great.
December, not so much. There's so many gigs happening.
Right.
So when you're
Christmas is always a good time for filling the bowl, isn't it?
Because we're at home in the
28th.
We're home in the 15th, 18th, 22nd, 28th, 30th.
And there's stuff in between.
And there really, I mean, it's just
too much to ask.
There's a gig on the 27th this year now. There's a comedy gig.
Really?
Local comedians playing that night, and then we play at 28th. There's a gig on the 29th. We play a 30th.
Yeah, too much.
And then we're away on the 31st.
Want to go to comedy night?
Do you know what?
Maybe.
I'll speak to Kieran Bartlett because
Is it Kieran? Is a big man?
A
friend of View from the Bridge.
I'll have a chat with Kieran.
Fancy
he probably wanted to use the subway that night to fire a few rockets into the crowd so we can organise for him. But it'll be.
That's right. I'm knackered. Let's go.
So there we are. The 2024 Friendship 4 is done. BU, Boston University are the Belpot champions. One of the best things about coming back home and doing this is the fact I get to see these boys, even though Davy's going to run off now. It's the fact we get to do all of this.
Where are you going?
You just walking
Where
out.
are you going? You want left home? Are you staying?
And that's how we are. One of the best things going back, seeing these boys, being part of this tournament, it's fantastic. Listen, thank you for everybody, wherever you are this weekend. We hope you enjoy your hockey. We'll see you here next time on A View from the Bridge.
As well as they head back. Saturday.